Now they are calling this revolution extremist, Islamist.
This is ut-Tahrir giving a talk on Syria in London last year. She speaks about Muslim fighters and civilians opposing the Syrian regime.
Because wallahi, sisters, their victory is our victory. As their blood is our blood, their victory will be ours. So let us share in it.
While authorities are trying to discourage young Muslims from travelling to the conflict to fight, some narratives from non-violent activists have caused concern.
Allahu Akbar. They want you to remove your Islam. They just don't want you to have an Islamic identity. That's why they talk about British Muslims and British values.
This is a talk being given to a group of Muslim women in Southampton. They've been invited along to a workshop delivered by a barrister on the government's strategy to prevent terrorism. The messages she's putting forward about counter-terror work, according to some other British Muslims, are of concern. She claims authorities are lying about the threat posed by ISIS.
So don't believe this nonsense that it's about ISIS. It's not. ISIS are a nobody and they are a nothing. They're allowing them to grow. So they're using them for what? They're using them for propaganda and in order to show something that they say, if you have extremism, you're on a pathway to terrorism. Incidentally, there is no evidence for that at all. None.
The speaker, ut-Tahrir, has in the past been a representative of the group ut-Tahrir, which rejects democracy and aims to create an Islamic state governed under Sharia law. But there's no evidence that these events are on their behalf. She is instead giving talks to Muslim women as an independent barrister.
All we do is talk, and we have strong ideas, and they're alternative to the so-called democratic ideas that they have, and they're not comfortable with that.
She tells Muslim women that living in the UK, they are suppressed.
It doesn't matter whether you're covered, not covered, whatever. You still consider yourself a Muslim, and that means that they have a problem with that.
But they face an apparent problem that some Muslim parents distrust authorities that are responsible for safeguarding children. ut-Tahrir warns mothers their children could face accusations of extremism simply for practicing their religion.
If a prevent officer, social workers, or even the school have asked questions of your child about their salah, their hijab, who they took, you can say you're not entitled to do that. They shut you down because you're too Islamic. You're too Islamic. Who goes on Facebook or any other social media and suddenly, I bet all of you do, but suddenly it crashes and it goes back to your home page? Who does that happen to? Can you have some hands? Yeah, it happens to me. Okay, it means your phone's being monitored.
Well, she's sitting in Southampton wearing Muslim clothing, a jilbab, a hijab. She's a barrister. She's had access to all the opportunities that this country has offered her. But what she's doing is trying to promote this idea that as Muslims you are under siege, you are being attacked. And that is so dangerous because it's the first seed, I feel, that will make people susceptible to much more dangerous extremist ideologies.
Over the past 2 years, counter-terror police in Hampshire, along with schools and councils, have significantly increased their work to combat extremism. It's a strategy called Prevent. And this is why. 6 men from Portsmouth and hundreds of other young Muslims from around the UK have travelled to Syria to join the Islamist extremist group ISIS. 4 of the men from Portsmouth have been killed there. But those working to prevent extremism say there are individuals and groups encouraging Muslim communities to oppose their work, and say this is undermining community cohesion. Ultimately, the greatest fear for security services is the prospect of anti-Western ideology inspiring more terror attacks on British citizens.